It is Wednesday, November 5th, and we are live. This is a Saturday. This is the Wednesday Showdown show. That's right. And we are in double digits if you haven't been paying attention. It's now week 10 in the NFL. So we have some crucial start sits decisions for you this week. So make sure you stay tuned. I'll see you on the other side.
You're watching the Start Sit Showdown only on Fantasy Now Plus.
Thank you for that introduction, Topher. I miss Topher. I can't wait to do a show with Topher again in the offseason, man. One of my favorite shows of all time is our award show that we had last year, where he pretty much took my side on everything. So thank you, Topher, for that. That's why Mahomes is your reigning, defending, most consistent fantasy player of the year, and he might win it again this year. He might. Anyway, what's going on, Justin?
What is going on? Another fantastic day of fantasy football.
Fantastic day. You have some terrible matchups that we can discuss today, like awful, like why? But I guess we're in week 10, and that's why we're going to be talking Romeo Dobbs today and other players of note. So let's not waste anyone's time. We'll be answering everyone's questions at 12:30. If you want to get your questions answered now, and possibly you don't have time to wait till 12:30, jump in our Discord. We have people waiting to answer all of your questions. Chat.fantasynowplus.com. I'm sure you can at Brian, you could at Tim, you could at Will, you could at me. I won't answer because Sean told me not to have my phone, but you can add us right there, right now, if you want your questions answered. If not, you got to wait till 12:30. If you want our rankings right now, fantasynowplus.com. That's where all of our rankings are, our articles, and of course more. Our waiver article came out yesterday by Charlene. I hope you got what you needed last night. Justin, I know I'm talking a lot, but 2 weeks in a row, Josh Kimmel has not submitted one waiver claim in one league. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling, as Baker says, I'm feeling a little dangerous today. I need waivers. I just didn't do it. Like, I need players. I just didn't do it. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. It sucks. But as I saw all my friends celebrate their victories of their waiver wire additions, I have been left with some decisions to make on these players. So let's get into it, man. First up, we have quarterbacks. And I feel like this is a dig at me. I feel this is personal. I feel like you took, oh yeah. It's going, oh yeah. I feel like this is personal.
What?
No. I definitely do think this is personal. With that being said, I remember in the offseason, I was, of course, defending my boyfriend, Aaron Rodgers, and I always will and always have. And I compared him to Stafford, and I'm like, he's terrible. Why would you guys want Stafford over Rodgers? Like, this was a debate we were talking about. And I broke down Stafford's numbers compared to Rodgers, and Stafford was awful and unusable, and this and that for Rodgers. And now the freaking book is flipped. Now we're on the other side of things where Stafford is awesome and Rodgers is mid. So I feel like this is a personal attack. Yes. So go ahead and start off. Tell me why we're starting Stafford this week.
Why are we starting Stafford? What? You're not even going to try to defend Aaron Rodgers? I mean, Aaron Rodgers has played pretty efficient over the last couple of weeks against some tough teams, Green Bay, Indianapolis, but he didn't put up 20 plus points like he did against Cincinnati. He's only put up 20 plus points twice this entire season, and that was Cincinnati and the New York Jets. The rest of the season, he's put about 12 points, and honestly, didn't even realize that when I picked these people. I looked at rankings and saw Rodgers was in the 12 range, and I was like, oh, that's not bad. But now I'm starting to wonder, why is Rodgers in the 12 in QB 12 territory? Like, I'm confused. Maybe it's because he scores 12 points a game. And that's about it. That's not very great unless it is a super flex league. Now, however, Matthew Stafford has scored 26 plus points the last 2 weeks and has only put up one single digit game, and that was week 6 against Baltimore. But since that week, 27.3, bye week, 26.8. Now has San Francisco. Should have to be a shootout to win this game. I think San Francisco can score even with, the limited everybody, but they still have, that guy named Christian McCaffrey. That is pretty solid. So they're still gonna have to score. Matthew Stafford's QB9 on the season. I just got him in a dynasty league.
I tried to undercut you so hard.
I know you
I
did.
sent
Uh,
how do you heard the offer I sent? It wasn't bad.
no,
I
I
would
heard
I
a
would have
worse
taken my
offer.
offer. Huh?
I heard a worser offer than what I sent, but
I sent
anyways,
I sent 2 young players for Stafford, and I'm surprised he took yours over mine.
I'm surprised too. I kind of sold him on the fact that, you could compete this year. Like you're now tied with me in fourth or whatever. You're in fourth. You could
Listen,
compete. You could make a run at it. You never know, but you do need a tight end. You don't need the quarterback. Your
I
quarterback
sent him
is on your bench. You need that tight end. And I gave him Travis Kelsey, who I've been trying to sell for 3 years. So
I sent him a younger tight end, but Travis Kelce's better. Yeah, anyway,
yeah,
back to
I'm
this
going.
matchup.
I'm going Stafford. He's just been more
Yeah.
consistent. If we're looking at, even at his targets, who do the two have at target? Aaron Rodgers has DK Metcalf and Darnell Washington. Matthew Stafford has Puka Nacua, Devonta Smith, Kyron Williams, Tyler Higbee. But he has Puka Nacua and Devonta Adams, and those are two very, very good wide receivers this year. In fact, I think both are, top 8. Both are top 8 this year.
Listen, there doesn't need to be much said about this. This is pretty simple. This was a slam dunk. But I want to say this: Aaron Rodgers is 21st in yards this year, 1,692, third in touchdowns overall, 17. And that's all I have to say about Aaron Rodgers. It's been a very pedestrian season for him. I told everyone up front he wasn't going to be a good fantasy quarterback, but a good real life quarterback, and that's what he's been. Stafford has thrown 9 touchdowns in the past 2 games. Last time he went against San Francisco, he threw for 389 and 3 touchdowns. Since week 4, Stafford has averaged 23.3 fantasy points per game, which is third behind Mahomes and Bo Nix. Matthew Stafford has been extremely, extremely, extremely good. And this is one of my misses on the season. And I'm okay to say that. I miss. It's fine. So I did miss out on Stafford. He is playing extremely well, way better than we all thought. Remember the back issues? Yeah, remember that?
Yeah,
Apparently that was a
we all
lie.
thought he was gonna just not play. I mean, that's the thing is we didn't all just miss on him. We all didn't think he was going to play this season. We all kind of expected, Jimmy Garoppolo to get some playing time this year.
Yes, we did. So
Not
I am
happen.
going to tie with you and go Matthew Stafford at San Francisco. Next matchup, let's go running backs. Kyle Manana guy. I'm trying, Jamie. I'm trying. Manana guy. Manon guy. Manon guy.
Manungai.
That guy.
I
Or
had
Rashad
to
White.
listen to multiple shows this morning to make sure I pronounced his name correct today. But everybody
I
pronounced
can't
it
even pronounce
Manungai.
my kids' names sometimes. Or Rashad White versus New England. Uh, I went off on Monday about this Manon guy, and I celebrated everyone, because this is one of the rare occasions where the favorite Twitter guy or the favorite Blue Sky guy finally does something. Because let's be honest, social media is successful, and you find one good guy in college, we all gush over him, and that person usually does nothing. Usually. So we finally get a guy that we're all universally in on, and he performed when he had the chance. So that's good to see. My problem this week specifically, he's playing the Giants. Last week he played the Bengals, which was a wild score fest. Both teams scored 40 points. There was a ton of possessions. That's why he was able to get the 26 carries. I don't expect him to get that amount of carries this week against the Giants. I expect a somewhat tougher matchup on the ground, although the Giants do give up the second most points to the running back position. So that's a possibility. We don't know Swift's injuries, status. We know it's a chronic injury. We know that he most likely isn't going to play this week. And we know that Ben Johnson wants to run the football. Ever since the bye week happened, that's what they've done. They are no longer we're going to throw it to Odunze and pass it around the field. We're going to establish a run with DeAndre Swift. And honestly, they did a successful job since the bye. Manon guy, the guy, he is going to be taking the load here. He had about 75% of the snaps last week. He forced 6 missed tackles last week. 123 of his yards of his 76 came after contact. He's just a monster, 7th round pick, and I have high hopes for him, but just temper your expectations. He's not going to get that workload because of the scoring. They're just not going to score that many points again, you would think. Rachaad White, on the other hand, he had 2 bad performances. He carried the ball 23 times for 105 yards in both the last 2 games alone, combining for 16.5 fantasy points. Now, we look at numbers, Justin, and we look at numbers and go, wow, that was bad. Wow, why did he only score 8.1? Wow, why did he only score 8.2? But you don't dive into the games. Versus New Orleans, before the bye week, they won 23-3 in a very uneventful game. Nothing happened. Baker only threw for 152 yards. They didn't need to go nuts against New Orleans. Their defense and special teams took care of that game for them themselves. Sean Tucker had 12 carries in that New Orleans game. Again, Rachaad White only had 13. The leading receiver for the Buccaneers that game was Tiny Tez. They didn't need to do anything. That's my point. Okay. Now, the week before that, they got blown out by Detroit. Blown out. Couldn't do anything. Rachaad White had 10 for 38. Just wasn't involved because of the game script. That game, Sean Tucker only had 1 carry. Just wasn't needed. So you got to look at these 2 games in perspective. They got blown out. You got game scripted out. And then the other game, they were blowing the other team out. By de facto, got game script out. So with that all being said, they're playing New England. I think it's going to be a competitive matchup. I think Rachaad White's going to be heavily involved. They don't have Mike Evans. Chris Godwin is probably never coming back this season. Bucky Irvin, look at your milk cartons here in the Tampa Bay area, guys. Bucky Irvin's on the milk cartons. We don't know where he is. He's not in the facility. Nobody's getting interviews with him. He's not practicing. Nobody knows where he is. It's the Rachaad White show, guys. That's why I'm starting him over the rookie. I understand the rookie had a big game against Cincinnati. This is a different matchup against the New York Giants. Rachaad White is on a competitive team, a much better team than Chicago, I think, even though Chicago's 5-3. I get that. But they're going against New England. This is a massive, massive, I guess, yardstick game for the Buccaneers and for the Patriots. So I'm going to go Rachaad White this week. That alone gives me all I need to know about Rachaad White. How say you, Justin? Are you going to go?
Bucky's been missing for five weeks, and coming off of a bye, you'd hope he would have been back. This one is a little bit more tough because it's like, do I hope that Monangai has another big game like he had against Cincinnati? Probably won't against the Giants, but we don't know. Or do you just hope Rachaad White is the guy? Just talking about the games that you were talking about, in a game where you're just winning, 23-3 or whatever the score was you said against the Saints, you would expect the running back to get more utilization. But Rachaad White had 13 rush attempts. Sean Tucker had 12. Sean Tucker had 10 points. He outscored Rachaad White in week 8 against New Orleans, which is it. I don't like that. I don't like that. So we saw a poor performance against Detroit where he got game scripted out of a blowout, and then he loses touches to Sean Tucker. I don't like that going into New England where they have a very fun offense. They're going to be able to score. And now we have to keep up with them. I feel like, if Egbuka is back to being 100% healthy, I think the passing offense might be looking better. But I don't really trust that running game with Rachaad White and Sean Tucker splitting that backfield. If we look at, DeAndre Swift and Monangai, if DeAndre Swift doesn't play with that groin injury, it's de facto Monangai is going to play. He is the guy. Remember when everybody thought Roshan Johnson was going to be a thing? That's no longer a thing. And if you want to go back and look at, Monangai has 2 games of double-digit points. He had a 17.4 game in week 7 against New Orleans, and then he had that 22.8 last week against Cincinnati. Well, you might think, maybe DeAndre Swift didn't play in week 7. No, he did. DeAndre Swift scored 20.8. They both did well. So with DeAndre Swift coming back from a groin injury, which is not easy for a running back position that has to make cuts, and DeAndre Swift is a running back that does make cuts a lot. I don't like him just immediately coming back and getting a full workload. I think Kyle is going to be a guy that's going to get more of that workload against the Giants, right before they head to a much needed win against another divisional opponent in Minnesota. I'm going Kyle this week. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets nothing if DeAndre Swift plays, but again, DeAndre Swift coming off of a groin injury terrifies me right now. And Rashad White got game scripted out of a win where all they had to do was run the ball.
Do you think they learned their lesson not to play their key players in moments they don't need to with the whole Chris Godwin situation? And
I mean,
let's be
maybe,
honest,
but is
they didn't
Rashad White
need.
a key player? Like,
He is now. Who else do they have? Who else do they have? Someone explain to me that. They don't have anybody else. They didn't make
well,
any moves.
if you want to count on that, then I mean, let's go back to the blowout loss against Detroit. He got game scripted out of that because he was blown out. They were blown out. They couldn't run the ball anymore. New England, New
You
England
think
can
New
score.
England's going to blow them out? You think
I
they're
think
going to
New
blow
England
them
can
out?
score. I think New England can score. And Tampa Bay is going to have to stay up with that score. I think it's going to be a very high scoring game, and that's not going to be Rashad White.
We'll see, man. So that's our first disagreement there. I'm just banking on Rashad White and the Buccaneers offense. Maybe I'm a homer. Maybe I'm too close
Maybe
to it.
you
I
are.
don't know. Maybe I am. But I'll tell you this, I'm not a homer for this one. This is a terrible matchup. If you're stuck with these two wide receivers, just pack it in, buddy. You're done. We got Parker Washington of the Jacksonville Jaguars and Romeo Doubs of the Green Bay Packers. I don't like any of these guys. I don't know what we're doing here, but we're stuck in a situation where Brian Thomas Jr. is questionable with an ankle sprain going into this week. Travis Hunter is on IR. It's not like he was contributing anyway. He wasn't doing anything. And then they just traded for Jacoby Myers, which in the past, which I don't know what's going on. In the past, when a player was traded mid-season, it's like they weren't used for another 2 years. Like I didn't understand the trade deadline back then. They didn't use it. Now players just come and go as you please. Oh yeah, pick up the offense. Maybe they dumb down playbooks. I don't know. So Jacoby Myers could be in play this week, which leads me to believe, why are we still talking Parker Washington? Let me explain. So Houston's a very tough defense. We all saw what they did to Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. Cortland Sutton was pretty much shut down. Troy Franklin, 10 targets, didn't do much with it. They pretty much said, Bo Nix and all y'all, we're done with y'all. What do you think they're going to do to Trevor Lawrence, Mr. Mid? There's no other mid quarterback than Trevor Lawrence right now, currently in the NFL. Is Jacoby Myers going to come in and take all those targets? Because he did it in Las Vegas for a long time until they had Brock Bowers and now Trey Tucker. People are thinking Parker Washington's going to get peppered these 9 targets like he did last week. That's not a realistic scenario, especially with the acquisition of Jacoby Myers and this Houston defense. Who's Stingley going to be on? Is he going to be covering Myers or Washington? I doubt they're going to waste their time putting him on Washington. Maybe. I don't know. On the other side, we have Romeo Doubs, who I had to look this up. He does lead the Packers in targets. Didn't know that. Congratulations, Romeo Doubs. Since he leads the room with 52 targets, their second leading target getter is now out with an ACL injury, Tucker Kraft. Justin, for $1 billion quadrillion, who is the third most target leader in Green Bay behind Tucker Kraft for $1 bajillion?
Third most?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well,
That's what I'm saying. There's no one else. It's Golden.
It has to be
It's
Matthew Golden. Yeah.
It's Golden with 29. But my point is here is they don't really have anyone else. They don't have a dominant target. I know Christian Watson is back, but we're not calling him dominant last I checked. So the last person that is actually an alpha is Romeo Doubs. He's earned 8.2 targets a game since week 4. He had a season high 10 targets last week against Carolina. I can't believe I'm saying this. Well, I can because it's Parker Washington on the other side. This is a slam dunk. I'm picking Romeo Doubs against Philadelphia. I'm not looking back. You guys can take your chances with the new hotness against Houston. I'm out. I'm full out. I couldn't be more out on a player. I think this is the biggest landmine. I think this is the biggest waiver wire free agent acquisition waste of money you could possibly do this last night. So that being said, Romeo Dobbs in a slam dunk runaway contest. Tell me you're taking Washington after that, please.
Well, the only thing I got for you is that 19 targets over the last 2 weeks that he's played. 19 targets, 12 receptions, 142 yards, no touchdowns yet. He's been pretty solid. He's somebody that we did tell everybody to pick up on waivers if he's there because injuries happen. But now let's look at Brian Thomas might not play. Travis Hunter on IR. Jacoby Myers has to pick up a playbook this week. Yeah, Jacoby Myers is probably the de facto wide receiver one with Brian Thomas out. But we can't even pretend Brian Thomas has been playing like Brian Thomas all year. So, and even with Brian Thomas playing, Parker Washington was outscoring him. So, the targets favored Parker Washington. And last week he caught 8 of 9 balls. I think the offense favors him, but he does have a very tough Houston defense this week. Romeo Dobbs, like you mentioned, is now the de facto target 1 in Green Bay. And he's getting, since week 4, 8 or more targets, minus the 6 targets in week 8 against Pittsburgh. Going up against Philly, they're going to have to play. They're going to have to score. And they're going to have to score. Josh Jacobs hopefully is back. He was injured last week. No, he played last week. Just kidding. There's questions of whether he's going to play or not. I think I do go Romeo Dobbs here as well. I want Parker Washington to do well, but Houston defense scares me. Jacoby Myers being added to there. Brian Thomas might actually play. All of that's taken away from Parker Washington. If they didn't get Jacoby Myers yesterday, I think I'm going Parker here. But with Tucker Kraft's injury and Jacoby Myers' trade, I think that changes. And this was all we picked this before the announcement of the trade yesterday. So
of course, yeah, we have guys. We're prepared. We don't just wake up on Wednesday morning. Oh, who are we talking about? No, we actually have a game plan. And sometimes we need to change the game plan. Sometimes we go, F it, we're gonna roll with it. And that's what we did here. We just rolled with it. So we're both picking Romeo Dobbs. Would have been you're right. It would have been a closer matchup if Myers wasn't traded there. I'm still going Dobbs though.
You think
I'm
so?
still going Dobbs.
I would have probably gone Parker, just because who just like Dobbs, who's getting the ball?
You're right, but even when Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter were healthy, who was getting the ball? Still nobody. Like just because if your quarterback and offense is mid doesn't mean you're going to get like 1,000 targets all of a sudden. No one when Tech gets hurt or if Tech gets hurt in Carolina, I'm not rushing to go get out Coker like all y'all are. I'm not doing that. Sometimes opportunity is awesome. Sometimes opportunity is just opportunity, and it's just what the players do with it. For sure. Tight ends, our last one. We have Kyle Pitts at Indianapolis, or he's on our list every freaking week. Zach Ertz.
No, he's not.
Bro. I've talked
Okay,
more about Zach Ertz on this show.
He was on here in week 7. My bad. I didn't even see that. I wasn't here, so I didn't get to talk about Zach Ertz. I just picked the 2 shortest names that I could. Come on.
I dig it. So if you're looking for upside, you're looking for more risk, you're looking for more fun, if you're looking for a 0, go Kyle Pitts. Like he can get you the 0, or he could be more fun and get, obviously scoring more points. He's averaging 10.9 fantasy points a game this year, tight end 12. Woohoo, yeehaw. But they're going against Indianapolis, which isn't the worst. Actually, they are. They're the 4th worst. They give up 14.4 points to the tight end, which is the 4th worst. On the other side, Zach Ertz, again, Marcus Mariota is expected to start. Mariota, we always say backup tight ends are rookie, or backup tight ends. Backup quarterbacks are rookie quarterbacks, love to target their tight ends. Zach Ertz really been more reliable than I want to mention. Terry McLaurin, does he even play football anymore? Deebo Samuel, slow down. Does he even play football anymore? Matter of fact, do the Washington Commanders play football anymore?
No. Truthfully, no. They shouldn't. I mean,
they're playing Detroit. They're going to need to score and keep up. I just don't know if they can with Marcus Mariota. Just for funsies, and just because I do think it's a better matchup, and I do think that Atlanta is on a they need to find an identity. They really do. Is it Drake London? Is it Kyle Pitts? What is their identity? So I'm trying to buy into the Kyle Pitts again. I'm doing it, Justin. I'm in on Kyle Pitts this week against Indianapolis, who really can't stop the tight end.
yeah, I don't hate that. I don't trust Zach Ertz this week because of the offense. The offense is gone. The entire offense is gone. I don't even know who plays football there. JCM's not anything. Ertz is probably their best player, to be honest with you. Was looking at Kyle Pitts, and I had to remember, where is he actually playing most of his snaps out of? Because if it was the slot or out wide, like, the wide receiver that he really is, then I think I would try to bank on Ertz being better. But Kyle Pitts is actually playing on the line a little bit more, which is interesting. So he's getting lined up with a linebacker, which is honestly kind of smart for Atlanta because he is a wide receiver against a linebacker. Now the Colts also just made a big time trade yesterday, improved their secondary, but it didn't improve their linebacker core. But can they now afford putting more of a corner on Kyle Pitts rather than the linebacker? Potentially. They're also in Berlin this week in an early game, but I still think I take Kyle Pitts and risk it. Like you said, he could get you 0, he could get you a bunch, but I mean, he's been consistent. In the last 3 weeks, he's gotten 26 targets, which is quite a bit. So I think I go Kyle Pitts here this week as well. I don't trust the Commanders offense at all.
I don't either.
Marcus Mariota played in week 8. Ertz had 6 targets. Marcus Mariota played in week 3 and 4. And he had a total of 7 targets. So Mariota doesn't even target Ertz. So that's not even a factor for me. I think I go Kyle Pitts here as well.
Yep, that's what we're doing this week. So we have one disagreement, Rashad White.
Yeah. Rashad White.
That's not fun. But you know what is fun? We're going to get to everyone's questions because that is my favorite part of this show.
Before we do, we have to talk about Underdog. I told Sean that we will talk about Underdog. So right after this, we will answer all of your questions.
I thought about running and changing my shirt real quick and I'm like, whoa, right? I don't know. I never had a commercial break during my show before. So next time, set me up, Justin. Let me know. You tell Sean this. Sean's not even a part of the show.
Bro, it was in our group chat. You knew this was coming.
I don't have my phone on me because I'm not allowed to. That's what I was told by Sean.
During your show, you can have your phone on you throughout the day, but not during the hours, the noon hour.
Nope.
Come on.
Wednesday is show day, no phone. Put it in the locker. it's locked up.
This is a pre-show question here. Good morning. Start 1 PPR. Tyrone Tracy Jr., Jordan Mason, Marty starting Wandale because of bye weeks.
This is from Jonathan Santiago. Just want to give him credit here because Jonathan's a great viewer and he's always here. So start 1 PPR, Tyrone Tracy or Jordan Mason. I'm already starting Wandale because of buys. Sorry, I had to read it myself. I'm going to go Jordan Mason here. I'm going to go Jordan Mason here over Tracy. Tracy was the biggest trap. I mentioned on this channel last week, Devin Singletary's alive. Guess what I'm seeing this morning? A lot of Devin Singletary buys. Tyrone Tracy's not a real thing. Jordan Mason isn't either, but at least we know Jordan Mason's going to get the carries. So Jordan Mason.
I mean, maybe. I don't trust either Devin Singletary or Tyrone Tracy. I don't trust the Giants offense in general, but I did like Jordan Mason until Aaron Jones came back. And Jordan Mason lost all of his snaps. Like literally
Yeah, but
he went from 15 down to total of 14 over the last 2 weeks. That's
yeah,
not great.
Jones might not play, right?
Is he hurt again?
Aaron
Oh,
Jones.
he is hurt
Yeah.
again.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I'm
Fire up
saying. Yeah.
Jordan Mason all day.
Not gonna play.
Redraft just traded Genty and Algier for Kyron Williams. I already have Corum, and the other guy has Bijan. I was trying to move off Genty. Thoughts?
I hate that you moved off Genty. That's my first thought. But I don't hate that you got Kyron. That's my second thought. Algier is a nobody, right? We're not starting Algier anywhere. The only person that has value for Algier is the Bijan manager. I like Kyron a lot. But I don't know why people want to move off of Genty. He's the only show in town. He's getting all the opportunities. He's now getting the catches. He got a touchdown reception last week. I like Genty. I think that he's on a bad offense and he's going to grow next year. But yeah, Kyron is probably safer. So I like it.
Yeah. Who should I start? JMO, RJ Harvey, or even Loveland at the flex?
I hate RJ Harvey. I hate him so much. I want him to go away. But he scored a touchdown last week and he just won't ever go away. He had 2 carries last week, 5 targets, 5 catches, 1 touchdown. He's not going to get the catches consistently. That was his most targets since week 4. In week 4, he had 5 as well. He hasn't had double-digit RJ Harvey, that is. He hasn't had double-digit carries since week 4 as well. J.K. Dobbins just won't die. His snap share is below 30% every single week except for week 4. I can't start RJ Harvey in confidence with that 30% snap share. I can't do it. So it goes down to JMO or Loveland to me. And that's being said, I'm going to go Jameson Williams because Loveland, without that 56-yard touchdown at the very end of the game, what did he do? He had a great game, but not like a great game like he had. So I'm going to go Jameson Williams.
Yeah, it's 12 points off the final play, which is 17 points without that. It's still pretty good. Jameson Williams is the definition of boomer bust. He either will score you 18 points, literally 18.6 points, or single digits, or none. So
at least he's in the game. At least he's in the game.
But yeah, at least he's in the game. Loveland is getting upticks. In fact, our friend of the show, Mr. Oh God, that's embarrassing.
Friend of the show, but we don't know his name.
From NFL Network.
Adam Rank.
Adam Rank was buying Loveland, or he was telling everybody you should start Loveland this week because he's finally getting used. Apparently, was injured at the start of the season, and now he's getting going. But Jameson Williams has Washington this week.
Fire up, JMO.
Fire up, JMO. I have Debo or Diggs, or should I start with Mayfield over? Well, first, let's go with Debo or Diggs. I would start Diggs. And now Mayfield over May.
No. So, Craig, this is from Craig Lennox. We're gonna go Debo over Diggs for real life.
Yeah. No. I said Diggs.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go Diggs, and we're gonna stack that with We're gonna stack that with May, and we're gonna have fun, and we're gonna fire them cannons for New England, and they're gonna score a lot of touchdowns.
Or Genty. I'm going Genty.
Come on, man. Why you gotta do that to me?
Kittle or Warren?
Let's go Genty.
Kittle or Warren?
They play in that stupid overseas game, right?
Yep.
And Kittle got the Rams.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, they got the Rams. Let's go Warren. Kittle has been so weird this year. Let's go Warren. He's more consistent.
Yeah, he is.
Get right game. Get right game.
This is a get right game for Warren right before the bye week. Also, I think the entire Colts organization is hyped after yesterday. So I think this week should be a pretty solid.
And I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna go Studskins at the Jets. By the way, if he's playing.
Oh, over Genty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just want to put that out there.
Been streaming PPR tight end. Can you rank Theo Johnson, K-Dot, and their Colston Loveland?
Streaming PPR tight end community. Okay,
Otten is
so I would
last.
go. Yeah, Otten's last. Goes Theo Johnson or Loveland. Cole Kmet, if he's still out, we like Loveland better. Theo Johnson is second. We like Theo Johnson, but he's not going to give you the yardage that Loveland can give you.
Right.
So Loveland, Theo, Cade.
Cade. Yep. I'm not calling Monangai that, Jamie. Bo Nix versus Las Vegas on Thursday night, or Sam Darnold versus Arizona. Both home games, 4-point passing touchdown league. I'm gonna
go Mr. Samuel Darnold against Arizona.
Because
I don't like Thursday night games, and I don't like Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix, but I think Sam Darnold is a safer floor. Bo Nix gives you that upside, though. Don't get me wrong. We could be super, super wrong on this. In the past, I think since week 4, because I just did this with the other quarterback we talked about today. Since week 4, Bo Nix is quarterback 2 on the season. It's because of that big 40-point game, but it still counts. Sam Darnold just consists 21 for 24 last week. Come on. Sam Darnold is locked in, brother. And JSN is I'm going to cry because I've been calling this for years. Not years. JSN is finally like, this is the year of me. Like, have I gotten one? Like,
I have JSN as wide receiver 1 this week. I had JSN as wide receiver 1 last week as well. With Sam Darnold threw 4 touchdowns before he threw an incompletion last week.
It's wild. All right, let's get the lonely stoner.
12-team PPR, 6-3, heavy at wide receiver with JSN, Chase, London, Flowers, and Waddle. The running backs are Kyron, Henderson, Rashad White, Algier, with Scat out for the year. I traded Flowers for Judkins yesterday. Was that a win? Yes. Good job.
Let's go. Anytime you add Studkins to your roster, that is a win. Is that the question?
Yeah, it was talking about their win. Yeah. Was it a win? And it was. Yes, hit the like button. James Cook, not at practice, foot ankle. Who is the Bills running back to pick?
Ray Davis.
Out.
Ray Davis.
Oh my God. What does James Cook? He had the ankle injury, didn't he?
Yep. Ray Davis is the backup.
I don't know. I would pay attention to practice reports. Ray Davis had 0 touches last week. Ty Johnson had 2. Ty Johnson is the backup.
We'll see. I think the most let me put it this way, guys.
The backup.
The most valuable backup running back in Buffalo is the one that's going to score touchdowns, and it's going to be Ray Davis.
And it's neither of them, because neither of them. Ty Johnson scored a touchdown last week. Ty Johnson scored a touchdown last week.
I'm going to kick this guy out. All right, not Dallas 3084 says, I got Jordan Love starting quarterback right now, and Cortland Sutton sitting on my bench. Should I trade Love and Sutton for Drake May and DK?
If you can make that happen, yeah, I would.
I don't know if I.
Troy Franklin is more of a target now in Denver than Cortland Sutton is, unfortunately.
Yeah, but DK Metcalf is.
I'm looking at May as the best player in this trade right here by far. And I'd rather have DK over Sutton.
I'd rather have Sutton over DK. Obviously.
DK has one single-digit game, and that was last week against Indianapolis.
Drake May's great. Let's be honest here, but quarterbacks are a dime a dozen. Jordan Love is available and able to have a quarterback 1 week. He just did it 2 weeks ago, so it's possible. I don't know if it's the gap between Drake May and Jordan Love is wide enough to take, in my opinion, the gap between Sutton and DK, because I think they're much farther than May and Love are, if that makes sense. But to be fair, do what you got to do. You can agree with Justin or myself. I don't think the gap. I think there's too far of a gap between the receivers. That's all. I'm
okay. So here's how I'm going to look at this, and let you take it as you will. Over the last 4 weeks, Cortland Sutton has scored 2.7 against New York, 16.7 also against New York, 10.7 against Dallas, and 10 against Houston. He has Las Vegas, Kansas City, then a bye week, then Washington, and then the playoffs start. Metcalf already had his bye week. He has the Chargers this week. Then he has Cincinnati, Chicago, Buffalo, Baltimore. Some of those games are going to have to be shootouts to be able to win. So he's going to get the ball. He's had one single digit game all season. Same with Cortland Sutton against Indy, actually. No, Cortland Sutton has 2 single digit games. Funny enough, actually, both of them are against Indy, but we're not going to talk about that. DK has 5 touchdowns on the season. Cortland Sutton has 4 touchdowns on the season. They're both good, yes, but I'm going to look at the road ahead. And if I'm looking at Cincinnati, Chicago on that, and now you flip to Cortland Sutton, and I see a bye week. I have Kansas City on here. I'm not loving that. And if I need to get to the playoffs, I'm going to go with the easier matchups, and that's going to be DK, who is the de facto top option in Pittsburgh. Cortland also has to fight Troy Franklin, whose targets are going way up, like way, way up. So
Yep. I'm a fan.
I'd
of Troy
rather have
Franklin.
Drake May for that.
Sweet.
That was a lot. He kept Jacoby. Parker's on waivers in my 10-man league.
Let's go to JR JCM Henderson question.
Yes.
So we have our JCM Henderson, Pearsall, or Chuba droppable for Trey Tucker. JCM is, Henderson is. I don't know enough about Pearsall to say he is, but I would say yes. And Chuba, oh my goodness.
Pearsall hasn't played in like 6 weeks.
Yeah. So Trey Tucker is he was already taking over that top role there in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I would drop I would drop them all for Trey Tucker. Yes.
Trey Tucker is the second option. I would drop all of them for Trey Tucker.
Hi, Charlene. Thanks for coming. She loves RJ.
Rachel
Harvey.
Yes.
It's okay. It's okay.
I have Sutton and Dunze, Gatson, and Tyron Tracy that I am happy to trade. What running back could I get? Depends who's out
Honestly,
there. I mean,
it also depends on who believes in these players or not, you know.
Yeah.
Gatson, you didn't miss your trade window because it's still possible. Sutton, obviously, we just talked about him. You could easily pair those two, Sutton and Gatson, and get yourself, if you're into someone like Brees or you're into a player like that. Don't shoot low for Jaylen Warren. That's too low. No. Maybe shoot for, I would say, Brees, or maybe, I don't know, our Hampton's status yet of returning. If you're a winning team and the person that you're trading to is a losing team that is tired of Hampton sitting on their IR not producing, maybe you could try to sway that. That's what I've been trying to do lately, is try to get that Hampton share for the playoff run. That's what I'm trying to do.
I mean, it probably won't go for it because of the capital that they spent on this player, but you could potentially go for Jahmyr Gibbs. Potentially. 5.8 against Minnesota. He kind of got worked out of last week's game script. It's just he's not had the year that you expected, but I think it's a little out of reach. Go a little bit lower than Gibbs, and you'd probably be fine. Who would be Cook's handcuff leading Johnson, but wonder if they giving Davis a back.
Yeah.
Him and Cook at the same role. Yeah. Let's see. I picked up Loveland after the Kraft injury. I am 4-5, had a playoff spot before my loss last week. Need a W. Play Loveland or Juwan Johnson. I'm starting at Dunze as well. Trade for Kelsey.
Redraft, I would trade for Kelsey. I would. But if you can't, I'm playing Loveland, higher upside.
Loveland. Yeah.
Juwan Johnson it was just a couple good weeks in the season. Now they have Tyler Shuck. It's a different offense. Juwan Johnson isn't really doing much as we wanted him to be. Or Loveland, we just saw he's athletic. He can get open. Cole Kmet's out. Like, they have a lot of weapons there. I like Loveland.
Yeah. Just received a trade. First, what's up, Dustin? Just received a trade request. They want ETN for Sutton. My running backs are Saquon, Dobbins, and Benson whenever he comes back. Receivers, Pittman, JSN, Moore, and Keenan.
They want ETN for Sutton. Justin has talked about how he hates Sutton, but ETN isn't special either. Your running backs are Saquon, Dobbins, and Benson. So Sutton's going to be your de facto wide receiver 3 behind Pittman and JSN. So as a wider, here's what you have to ask yourself, Dustin, and anyone listening, when you evaluate these trades. ETN is currently your possibly running back 3. Sutton would be your wide receiver 3. Is it more important to keep your solid running back 3, because that's what he is? Travis Etienne is a solid running back 3 for you. Would you rather keep that depth at your running back position where they do fall and they do get injured often, or would you rather add an additional wide receiver 3 to your team when you already have DJ Moore there, who
Keenan
isn't
Allen.
special? And Keenan Allen's fallen off a lot, but I understand that as well. So that's how I would evaluate that, Dustin. Would you rather give up depth at running back to add a little bit extra to your wide receiver room? I personally wouldn't. I want the depth. Running backs are falling, dying. Like they're just falling. They're dying. All of them.
Yeah.
Getting,
Did you know Lave and Adunze for Garrett Wilson and Monangai? Is that a W? Yeah, Lava gets a lot of targets. Dunze should not have another goose egg.
He's been bad though for the past like 4 weeks. Garrett Wilson's coming back from an injury on a team that's literally stead. Yesterday, the Jets waved the white flag. They've given up. So I don't know
They
what
just got another wide receiver in their wide receiver room. So
who
AD Mitchell. Start Mariota or McCarthy. I'm starting JJ. I will start JJ because he has JJ. Mariota has no one. Stream tight end or trade my wide receiver 4/5, Juwan Jennings for Kincaid. That owner also has Laporta and Fannin for some reason. Yeah, I would trade Juwan Jennings for Kincaid if they will accept that.
If they accept that, that's wild. Yeah, I would definitely take that. 1000%.
Yeah. Trade away Derrick Henry and Wandale for Bijan. Was it that?
Yes,
I think so.
Massive, huge.
Start Butte, Horton, or Charbonnet as flex. Oh god.
God, these are awful.
Horton is dead. Horton's dead. Shahid's there. Like Horton's
It was
dead.
fun. It was a fun week.
Fun while it lasted. If Booty might not be playing, he also might be hurt.
Yep.
And God, I don't like Charbonnet. Like I don't like that running back room.
You got to go Sharbs.
You have to go
he's
Sharbs.
playing Arizona together. Playing Arizona, he's going to have more chances of score. Horton is pretty much droppable at this point because they did add Shaheed, and he's a better player, to be honest with you. In Booty, we don't know his status against Tampa Bay. If Booty plays, I'm into Booty. I'm into him over Charbonnet, but just monitor that. Booty is my guy until they announce he's either out or it's already been announced. I'm into Booty.
We know. Back to this one where he just got Derrick Henry, or he got Bijan for Derrick Henry and Wandale. RB2. We're looking at Kenneth Walker III, Ramondre Stevenson, or Trevion Henderson.
Ramondre's been good this season. I hate it.
Is he
back?
Hate
it so much.
Is he actually back though?
If he's back, you play Ramondre. If he's not back, you play.
Yeah, he still has that toe injury. We have not heard anything back from that yet. So
you know what pisses me? I already went off about Trevion Henderson on Monday. I don't understand why he finally gets a shot and they pick this no-name Jennings loser. No disrespect to you, Jennings. You'd probably beat me up. But God, it makes me so mad that we invested so much in Henderson for this return. It just makes me upset. All right, a couple more questions, and we got to get out of here.
My flex options are Hawk and Algier. On my bench, I have Spears and Hunt. That can be drops, but should I not drop and play with who I have? On the waivers, Mason, Taylor, Higbee, but that are decent. Oh, Mason Taylor, good Lord. Can't even read.
Can't read. I don't like Mason Taylor anymore. I don't want to touch any Jet anymore. Even Brees. I'm over it.
They're done. Like they're not gonna win. So it's
Hawk and Algier on my bench. I have Spears and Hunt. Spears didn't really Hunt. I don't like any of these ways. Here's what I'm doing. I'm flexing Hawkinson this week if I have to. If that's your only choice.
He's got both.
I'm not
Hawk and Algier at flex.
Yeah, that's the question, right?
I would put Spears in over Algier.
Would you though?
Yeah.
Like for real life?
Yeah.
Against Indianapolis?
No.
It's gonna be a weird game. It's gonna be a weird London game or Germany, wherever they're playing. At
Germany.
9:30 in the morning.
Algier
Those games are always
he
weird.
doesn't really get anything though. I mean, he got
What does
9.4 in
Tajay
week 8 because he had a 1-yard rushing touchdown.
Okay.
Tajay at least gets the ball. He gets game scripted in. He's getting more than 7 points. He's getting more than Tyler Algier.
All right. Spears. Okay, fine. Spears over
Kareem
Algier.
Hunt also might be an option, but he's on bye this week.
He's on bye. He's on bye this week. He's on bye.
Yeah.
So definitely don't pick up Mason Taylor. Do not pick up Pigby. Those are a waste of spots or people to pick up. All right. One more question, then we got to go.
Oh, it's
What's
Hawk
the
or Algier. I would do Hawk then.
Hawk. What's the move with Xavier Worthy? Just a drop at this point or so? Again, on my Monday show, I said this. Rashee Rice, the king has returned. I don't need to brag about that anymore. But Worthy is back to his usual gadget player role, as he has always been and always will be. So I wouldn't say drop him. I would try to trade him if you could. Try to sell him to some sucker. Rashee Rice is the king.
Yeah, Worthy's still worth something. I mean,
I wouldn't drop him.
He's not trash.
7 targets last week. The week before,
7 targets.
Pretty much nothing.
Before, yeah.
I would try to trade him for for anything because someone still values him. Someone still thinks he's going to be valuable. Someone will. So don't just drop him.
Agreed.
But that's going to do it for the show, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's the Wednesday Showdown. It's definitely my favorite show of the week with Justin. We only had one difference. That was Rashad White. He took that other guy, whoever that guy's name is. But if you want more, we'll be back tonight with Michael Flores and Topher as they will be discussing our rankings versus the experts' rankings. If you can't get enough of us, even then, on Thursday, we're back for a DFS show, Get Tilted. And then we're off Friday, returning Saturday for our Dynasty show, and Sunday with Justin for the pre-show, giving you all the starts and sits of the week. And then we start the week all over again. So if you enjoyed us, chat.fantasynowplus.com. That's our Discord. Our website, fantasynowplus.com. Waivers, articles, yada, yada, yada. You know the drill. And of course, we wouldn't do any of this or couldn't do any of this without Bobby and the guys at the Fins Talk Sports Network. We appreciate you guys over there. If you're watching on the Fins Talk Sports Network, come over here, give us a like, give us a sub. You can go back over there. I like it over there too. So it's fun times. Justin, anything else before we get out of here?
Nope.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be back next week. Until then, be good. And I hope you guys all win this week. Get that playoff spot. Let's go. Let's go.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.